Hi, John. I'm going to review your speech script. So let me just do share screen. Second here. All right. So here we go. So recently, I lost my job about a week back before my classes start for school. I tried to say it was for the best so that I could focus on school. Say it was for the best so that I could focus on school, do good in my classes, which was a long, lasting struggle for me. But the financial turmoil of not working posed an issue for me. Because of this, I decided to apply for new job openings around me. I applied at a Costco, a familiar place like most in my area. I was pumped to get into the working life and not sit around all day like a hermit in its shell. Applied late at night, but to my surprise, I got a call an hour after I woke up the next day. The call didn't go well, as they explained that I wouldn't be at the set position I applied for and would move around to wherever I was needed while only being employed until the end of December. This was no go for me as I'd applied elsewhere, and I applied to Best Buy knowing that my love for computers and coding could take me a long way with a job at a technology store. I thought of this after a long day of doing absolutely nothing, tired as hell at 2 a.m. thinking, what's the worst that could happen? So I applied. To my surprise, once again, I get a call the next morning asking me to come for an interview. The position was exactly as I described on the job website, and I was stoked for a new opportunity to arise in my life. I jumped at the opportunity and almost signed up for an interview the next day, forgetting that my head looked like I just got off an interactive ride for Castaway. So trust me, I was a scruffy mess and instantly corrected myself and chose the interview for the day. After the day after the next, okay, at 4 p.m. for 20 p.m. It was given opportunity for 1 p.m., but I saw the numbers 4:20 and had to indulge myself and my mom that I had interviewed and immediately followed up with how I need a haircut. I could see her eyes light up like a kid on a Christmas morning, since she and her dad have been trying to get a haircut for me for the past 4 months. She acted swiftly and within 10 minutes got me an appointment for the next day with her hairstylist. I wasn't worried about it because my hair was fairly long and I'd like to keep it that way. I get my trimming right away, as I wasn't awe how it turned out. By far, it was the best haircut I've ever had. It might look exactly how I wanted to, and barely even had to explain what I wanted, saying I just wanted it long. The next day comes for the interview. I'm ready for the interview, do my classes, and I sit around waiting for it to be a time to waiting for it to be time to leave. What I didn't factor was that I didn't have the top of the Jeep, and even better, I didn't have time to put it back on. I look up in the mirror and with my freshly styled hair and put a hat on and a melancholy so that the wind doesn't mess it up. At this point, my hair is still a bit damp, but I had to take the risk so I didn't look like I walked out of the wind tunnel. I drive to the Best Buy and sit in the car for 5 minutes adjusting my hair, so it's just right. Once again, I didn't factor in that I still had to walk from my car to the store, which wasn't a fun journey. I step out of the car and immediately succumb to the lightest of breezes, at which put my styled hair into a turmoil. I had to make it through though. So I shuffled my way into the store, not able to dodge the onslaught of dainty little breezes that messed up my hair so much. I made it in, swiftly fixed my hair so it looked moderately presentable, and walked up to the man at the front and to exclaim that I was in for an interview. His name was Brett, and I didn't know it until later, but he was one of the interviewers. He had me sit down at the desk and wait for the general manager to come and get me. I was thrilled in my element and ready for that interview. I would occasionally check my hair as I sat there, worried that I would end up getting it messed up again. And until 15 minutes later, I was approached by the general manager at the store, of the store. Todd didn't look like a manager at all. He approached wearing what looked to me like a construction vest and had a similar build like myself, being young as well. So I was shocked for a moment, but introduced myself and introduced him and followed the interview room. And we get there and he tells me to take a seat, and I sit down and he passes me a paper to fill in my available hours to work. In that time of writing on the paper, filling up, I noticed something and realized that there was a fan in the room and it was pointing. So funny you are. It was pointing directly at my head. I was thinking, how could this get any worse? As I noticed the soft breezes again mess up my hair beyond repair. I felt like I was in a war zone every second, having the urge to fix my deforming, but knowing that it would be better to just sit there and deal with it. I tried everything, adjusting my seating position, leaning away from the fan, but nothing seemed to work. In the end, I just pulled out my phone to check how badly my hair actually was. When I noticed that it didn't even look messed up, instead it was pushed over a tiny bit to the side, but even better looking than it was while I was sitting in the waiting chair. Funny. All right. So this is a really funny piece, and I, that you could make. You're a good story writer. So yeah, that's a compliment to you. And what I want you to do is, I would like you to come up with it just does seem that you kind of ended it abruptly. So I would like you to come with a conclusion, something about the hair, or the struggle of the thin hair, however you want to end it. But I would like you to kind of come up with a conclusion with an insight. Okay, maybe an insight that you gained through this. And I don't want to, tell you what the insight was, because that's personal, that's just yours. So I would like you to kind of work on your conclusion. Okay, that's it. And other than that, nothing needs to be changed. And our class is really going to have fun with this one. So, all right. Thank you, John.